Welcome back to our final deep dive into Macondo. It's been quite a journey exploring the visuals, themes, and the impact of this story.
It really has. And we've talked about so much, but there's always more to uncover. Both the adaptation and the book are filled with layers of meaning.
And we know a second season is coming. What are your thoughts based on where the first season ended and what you know about the novel?
Well, given how the story works, with history repeating itself, I think we'll see things happening again, maybe even more dramatic this time. The first season only covered the early generations of the family.
Right.
There are still so many characters and important events we haven't seen yet.
We just met Aureliano II, and his twin brother, Jose Arcadio II, plays a big role in the novel's exploration of the banana plantation massacre and worker exploitation.
Exactly. And those events, even though they're fictional, echo real historical struggles in Colombia. The second season could really delve into those themes of injustice and how violence repeats itself.
It makes you think about whether they'll be more direct in addressing those potentially controversial elements in the second season, especially after the criticism of the first.
It'll be interesting to see if they change their approach, maybe by adding more historical context or using the story to offer a more critical view of those events.
And considering how closely the production is tied to Colombia, I'm curious to see how they continue showcasing the country's culture and history.
Oh, yeah.
More of those amazing visuals, those glimpses into Colombian life.
I'd say that's pretty much a given. They clearly get how important the setting is to the story. Macondo isn't just a backdrop. It's like another character.
Yeah.
I'm sure the second season will explore that connection between place and identity even further.
It's amazing how this adaptation is introducing so many people to Colombian storytelling and Garcia Marquez's world.
Definitely. And it reminds us that great stories can reach anyone, no matter where they're from. Love, loss, family, searching for meaning, history repeating itself. These themes are universal.
Now, looking beyond the adaptation itself, what are your thoughts on the impact of 100 Years of Solitude? It's been over 50 years, and people are still reading it, and writers are still influenced by it. Why do you think it's had such lasting power?
I think it's a few things. The imagination in the story is incredible. Garcia Marquez created a world that's both familiar and fantastical, where impossible things just seem normal.
He gave us a way to talk about the things we can't quite understand, the things that don't make logical sense.
Exactly. And his writing, his descriptions are so vivid and beautiful that you get completely swept up in it.
Even in translation, you can feel the magic of his words.
Absolutely. But even beyond the writing, I think the novel's lasting appeal is that it explores these universal themes. The Buendía family, even with their extraordinary circumstances, their struggles feel real. Love, loss, ambition, the search for meaning. We've all felt those things.
It reminds us that history isn't just in the past. It shapes who we are now and who we'll become. We're all connected to the people who came before us, and what we do now will have consequences far into the future.
That's such a powerful message, especially now. 100 Years of Solitude reminds us that we're all connected, that our lives are part of something much bigger than ourselves.
It's a story that stays with you, makes you think about your own life, your own place in the world.
That's what makes a truly great book. It's more than just entertainment. It becomes something to think about, something to learn from, something to talk about.
As we wrap up our deep dive, I want to thank you for guiding us through this fascinating world. And to our listeners, I encourage you to keep exploring 100 Years of Solitude. Read the book again, find some critical essays, talk to people who've been moved by this story.
Yes. And remember, the magic of Macondo doesn't end when the show is over. It's a magic that lives on in everyone who experiences it. It reminds us to embrace the wonder and complexity of life.
Beautifully said. Until our next deep dive, happy exploring. And may your own life be touched by a little bit of that Macondo magic.